Welcome back. Stardew Valley, Sil, they, them, vegan, antinatalist, leftist, autistic nerd, playing Stardew Valley as a vegan character, seeing how far it can go. And I was thinking about saying some updates, right here on the title screen, but I figured why not just dive straight into the game and talk about them while we play. So, one thing you might notice right off the bat is that as advertised, I guess, or as I wrote in my previous video, the camera is a bit smaller. That is so once we have big messages on the screen, they my camera doesn't obstruct them. Before I continue talking about more logistical stuff, let's see the TV real quick. So clear and sunny tomorrow, and today is bad luck, so we're not going to open the geodes. No mail. Everything here is watered already, so I can put the watering pail here. Let's see what we want to do. It's been about a week since I last played. I actually wanted to record earlier, but and you know what? I forgot about the mouse profile again, so I'm gonna switch to that. You can't see it, only I can. Yeah, so I wanted to play earlier and record more, but unfortunately, 2 days ago, I got a little bit sick. My nose became stuffy, and then it became runny. I think I slept with too cold of an air conditioner, so that's what happened. But I'm better now. I'm sure this is a better experience than what would have been if I decided to start recording while I was sick, so here we are. What do I want to do this day? Maybe take the trilobite to the museum. See what we have in the quarry. So a few more updates while we play. I actually learned since the last video about bit rates. In the past, in OBS, which is the program that I'm using to record this, in the past I had it set to 2500 bit rate, or rather kilobytes per second for recording. Now, for a game like this, Stardew Valley, it's probably not going to be noticeable at all, the change that I made, which I'll get to in a second, because what it essentially helps with is, fast-paced action. So in a game like this, where not too much is moving around very quickly, you're not going to be noticing much of a difference. But, and this is also an opportunity to, I guess, segue into another thing that I wanted to update you about. I'm going to start recording a playthrough series of the game called Hades. I mean, there's not much in the game that can benefit from a vegan perspective, like this game, but it's a game that I like, and I thought to myself, it would be nice to allow people who don't play video games themselves to still experience the story and the music and the voice acting and a lot of other stuff of fantastic games like Hades, maybe Guild Wars 2, and I'll get in a little bit into a list of the games that I'm considering playing on the channel. But the reason I brought up Hades now is that it's a very fast-paced game. There's a lot of action involved, and it's 60 frames per second, so unless I record it with 60 frames per second, it's going to look slower, or well, not slower, but like less impressive. And I tried testing a little bit of footage from Hades while talking, in order to kind of like practice, have a practice run, see if everything looks good. And at first it didn't. I wasn't sure why I was getting so many, why the footage rather was so pixelated and blotchy and like blocky. And I looked up a video, sorry, that said that it really boils down to bitrate. And I don't know why my bitrate in OBS up until, I guess, yesterday was so small, because 2500 is really not a lot. Especially not if you have relatively, enough, like a lot of space on your computer to host files in before you're done working on them. What am I going to do? I remember that I wanted to put more torches around, but I guess it'll be helpful to wait for nighttime to see what the range of the light is. Let's go take the trail bite with us and maybe explore a little bit more the outskirts of town to see if there's forge. So I'll actually start going from northwest. But yeah, I don't remember why in the past I may have set the bitrate to be so low, but as soon as I tried to raise it to like 40,000, man, lots of forage around. That's really good. As soon as I tried to raise the bitrate to 40,000, everything just started working so well. Like everything looked good, everything looked crisp, just like it looks on my screen. It was like a whole new world. So I'm very glad I decided to not settle for that old video quality that I had, and instead, looked up a video. But another thing is, you might notice that my webcam looks better. Not just smaller for the sake of, the video. Oh, let's say hi to everyone. I don't think I've talked to Demetrius yet. Let's see. Greetings, I'm Demetrius, local scientist and father. Thanks for introducing yourself. Okay. I'm studying the local plants and animals from my home laboratory. Have you met my daughter Maru? Yes, I have. She's interested to meet you. Well, good to know because I'm actually kind of into her. Let's see what she has to say. When it rains, I have a good excuse to work on my gadgets all day. Must be kind of boring for you, though. What do you mean? Oh, yeah, because it's raining, I don't have much to do. Okay, that's actually fair. I thought she was taking a jab, but she's not. She's actually being genuine. And by the way, Maru, let me pause real quick so time doesn't pass. You can work on your gadgets anytime you want if you put your mind to it. The only constraints are capitalism and, fuck capitalism. Let's see what Robin has to say. The rain doesn't stop me from getting a job done. Man, they all seem to be focused very heavily on the fact that it's raining today. Although soggy wood isn't a joy to work with, that's for sure. Kind of reminds me of trying to interact with wet food in the sink. There's actually a meme from... Oh, wait, I notice a horseradish over there that I'll take. There's a meme that I really like based on a template from Dune, the movie Dune. I'll put it on screen, while I say this so you can see what I'm talking about, but I dare not try to recite it off by heart because I'm probably going to butcher it. But yeah, touching wet food in the sink is a big no for me, and try to limit my touch with it as much as possible. What was I talking about beforehand? Oh yeah, the camera video quality. So, while I was inspired by my discovery of... let's see what the quest is. Trying to keep the artificial alive. Yeah, no thanks. Let's have a trash lab. I think that's what I'm going to call it from now on. So, as I was inspired by my discovery of, higher quality video capturing, I also remembered that for a while now I've been pretty dissatisfied with the low quality that my camera seems to be displaying. And I looked up, and apparently there's for the brand of camera that I use, there's a program that allows you to manually play with it, like play with the settings. And I did, and now it looks better. So here we are. Oh, another major discovery, which, you might have already found out yourself because you're basically listening to this video. Wait, let's go say hi to Penny. You might have noticed that whenever I talk, the music in the game doesn't... whenever I talk, the music or any other sounds in the game, their volume is automatically reduced. And I did that because naturally my voice is kind of low tone and I don't really like to raise my voice. And I noticed that a lot of times games can overshadow that, especially in Hades. I looked up whether there's a function in the video editing program that I use, which is Premiere, and pleasantly surprised to find out that yes, there is actually an automatic function that does that, and so I'm using it now. So I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on whether you think this is a good thing or a bad thing, especially in the Hades video coming up. So definitely look forward to that. Penny. We don't have a school here, but I'm doing my best to give Vincent and Jazz a proper education. Every child deserves a chance to be successful, 100%. Jazz is very good at math and reading. Vincent is good at, well, he has an active imagination. This sentiment here kind of reminds me of like, someone confessing to someone else that they like them, and then saying like, well, you're nice, right? Kind of like a trope like that. Let's put the trilobite here. I guess all of these are kind of like, ground discoveries, so I'll put them all together next to the fireplace. No rewards yet, though. That's fine. So yeah, in case you don't know what Hades is about, and you're thinking whether you're considering whether or not you would like to tune in to those episodes as well. It's a roguelike game, meaning that every time you play it, you're going to get a random assortment of, levels, enemies, power-ups, and stuff like that. And if you lose, you start from the beginning. If you win, you also start from the beginning, but you get, I guess, a little bit more progress in the meta game. And specifically, Hades is extremely high quality in terms of production value. Let's say hi to both of these. Maybe I should, Leah says, maybe I should cook something new and exciting today. Something spicy. I'm all for spicy food. And Lewis, have you planted any spring crops yet? The season doesn't last forever, Yes, I have. Thanks for your concern. Let's garbage the trash. Hey, you stuffed that yak. So they seem to have the same voice line. Well, not voice line, text line, I should say, between the two of them when you see you doing that. But as mentioned, I'm going to rummage the trash. I'm going to, salvage what I can. If people don't like that, that's on them. I think we can still, forge nice friendships regardless. Yeah. Man, I'm finding a lot of forage. That's really good. So like as soon as the community center opens, I'm going to be able to fill the, I guess it's called a summer forage bundle. I don't know. I just noticed that I'm really low on energy, so I'm gonna start conserving it. Don't want. Oh, yeah, actually for the community center I do want this. So let's go to the chest and drop some things. Oh, I see another horseradish there. What was I talking about? ADHD brain moment. It's actually, okay, so it's a unique quality, which means it's going to need its own inventory space. So let's drop by the chest real quick and then continue foraging. Hades. So the voice acting is phenomenal. The music is phenomenal. The gameplay itself is really cool, although it can get, it can be pretty fast paced. So just watching the game maybe can be a little bit confusing, but I think it's still going to be fine. Now, I've played the game already, to completion, I should say. I have all the achievements on Steam. But I thought it would be a nice idea to play it anyway, for the sake of people who might not have and want to experience its narrative, but don't want to play it themselves necessarily. I think, well, I know at least one person who said that they would like that. And like I said in the previous video, as long as my videos, make even one person's day at least a little bit better, or, fulfill their need to feel comfortable with a content creator because they know that they're vegan and antinatalist, then as far as I'm concerned, the video, has succeeded in its purpose. So yeah, look forward to Hades. And especially in that game, I'd be curious to get your feedback about how the function in Premiere that I mentioned, which automatically lowers the volume of the game or the music while I speak. It's called audio ducking. So I'm curious to hear that episode. And maybe also from this episode, with Stardew Valley, what you think about it. Whether you think it's a good thing or, whether it's distracting or not. And one final thing is that in the previous episode, I tried, as you've seen, strapping the handheld microphone that I used for the video essay. I tried strapping it to to my overalls, and it worked for the most part, but there were some very low volume moments and some very high peaks, which I had to adjust because of how the microphone kept moving back and forth, I guess, in relation to my mouth. And now I'm using a different microphone that I've actually had for years now, probably 10 or more years. It's a white snowball. And it picks up noise much more, I think, reliably, especially in Windows. Because with the handheld microphone, for some reason, the volume that so like it's a USB microphone, and I don't know why, but Windows 10 has this issue where USB microphones, their volumes gets picked up very, very, very faintly, and then you have to adjust the gain upwards in the video editing program or compensate for it in OBS. And that created some problems. I think, with the current microphone, things are going to be much better. And yeah, that's pretty much that. And finally, I also learned how to kind of automatically, although I can't remember if I've done it. Is there anything else I want to do today? Or go to sleep? Man, I've really not been focusing on the game. I've just been going on autopilot. Is there anything I want to do? Nope, can't think of anything. We kind of circled the entire town for the most part for forage. Do I want to eat some spring onions to chop more trees or not? Is there anything I want to craft? Let's see if there are any specific ingredients I should try to gather. Oh, you know what? We can do that. We can definitely do that. So 1 leek, 1 horseradish, 1 dandelion, and 1 daffodil. And we still have 1 of each left at the very least for the community center. I also have high quality ones. I guess I could use this. I could give this to Maru to improve our friendship. The higher quality the item, the better friendship increase you get with a person. So I'll definitely hold on to that. For now, let's craft seeds. Get them done. Get them growing as early as possible. And I need to eat spring onions now in order to replenish energy. So let's do that. What was I talking about? Oh, so I don't know if... I can't remember if in the previous video I've already started using an audio balance feature. I think I did, actually. So maybe this is not news, but I'm still excited to share it, so I'm going to do it anyway. I think I'll just fill the spaces here because I don't have enough... I don't feel like stretching too far, at least at the moment. Even though I like the aesthetic of, rows being separated like that. But anyway... I'm going to share about it anyway because I'm excited about it. So I learned about a function or rather an effect in Premiere called dynamics, where you can adjust, first of all, how high you want the highest peaks of the audio to get. And then also, and actually I ended up with more energy than I needed. Should I craft 10 more seeds of these? Let's see. Daffodil, leek, dandelion, horseradish. Yeah, let's do it. Growing as many seeds as possible is, I think, the best. I'm gonna want to make some cash. So you can set how high the highest peaks go, and you can also set, if there are some parts of your, speech, for example, where it's too low, and that was often the case in the previous video because of, the way I naturally speak like this. You could adjust, raise basically the minimum across the entire clip. So on one hand, it raised my lowest parts to make sure that you can hear everything well, and not have some of my words or utterances kind of swallowed in the void. But at the same time, make sure that it doesn't elevate everything beyond a certain point that would be, I guess, unpleasant to listen to because it's too loud. So that's what I did. And yeah, I'm just excited to share about it, and it's going to be here as well, of course. Anything else this day? Have a little bit of energy. I don't want to craft more seeds. Um, I think this is it for now. It's also pretty late anyway, so let's go to sleep. I'm also, by the way, I'm not too stressed about min-maxing, doing as much as possible at any given day. Um, it's not like we're racing towards anything. I don't care about the grandpa um, appraisal at the beginning of the third year. So let's see. Sunny day. We're gonna need to water the crops today. Actually, now I just realized planting so many seeds means that now, of course, gonna have to water all of them, and that's gonna take a lot of energy. But thankfully, you have enough. Fortune teller. You can hear the spirit whispering something to me. I am a fool. So this foolishness actually extends to the previous episode. I told myself that once there's a good luck day again, I'm gonna want to go to the blacksmith and crack all the geodes, but I haven't saved any money in order to crack geodes. Oh no. Oh no. And of course, so most people I assume get upset because if you when crows appear, because if you don't have a scarecrow, that's gonna happen. They're gonna eat some of your crops. I don't particularly mind. I mean, from my perspective, they're sentient beings just like us. They need food. Growing all of this food here is not essential for my survival. I'm mostly doing it for profit. And if some crows can have a bit of a better life finding a little bit of food, on account of my profit, so be it. Which actually raises the question, do I even want to craft the woodpecker? At the bottom left is like completely cutting my train of thought. I'm sorry. It begs the question, do I even want to use scarecrows in this playthrough at all? And I guess once we get the ability, man, the woodpecker is going to drive me nuts. Once we get to that point where we can craft a scarecrow, I think we'll think about it. Let's read this message. Robin here. I know there's a lot of stone scattered around your farm. If you have a surplus, you might consider having me build a well for you. Wells can be placed all over your farm and serve as convenient places to refill your watering can. Just swing by my shop with 75 stones and 1000 G. I don't know why I keep getting those numbers confused. When you're ready for it, Robin. Now here's the thing. Hilltop Farm actually makes it pretty lucrative to get a well going relatively close to home, because I think it's the map with the furthest away water from home. Like, I mean, as you can see, like I have to go all the way down here just to refill water. If I'm going to be watering a lot of crops here, I'm going to need to make multiple trips back and forth. Let's see how much, whether I can get all of this watered with just one, I guess a full capacity worth of the watering can. But it doesn't look very promising at the moment. What was I talking about before the scarecrow thing? I think this is going to be like a recurring theme in this episode. Me trying to like balance, and maybe not just this episode, but in general, me trying to balance irrelevant commentary or irrelevant banter, I guess, with relevant commentary to the game. Oh yeah, I just remembered. So I don't particularly care about min-maxing. I think I'm here in this playthrough to just, have fun, chat. Yeah, I don't care about, speeding through the game and like progress and like money as fast as possible. Yeah, there's another one, the tree. So I'm kind of, my mind went blank for a moment. I'm sorry. I ended up spending a lot less energy than I imagined that this patch would take. So pretty pleased with that. Let's think, what do we want to do today? Let's go to town, see if there's anything interesting to do. And I think, by the way, it's worth saying that, oh wow, lots of forage here. I think it's worth saying that because we're not going to be, delving into the mines and fishing and stuff like that, we're gonna end up with a lot of free time on our hands per day in the game, I mean. And so I want to try to find and figure out as many personal goals. Oh, you know what? I forgot to bring, the high quality flower to give tomorrow. That's okay. Let's just give her the regular one now. Get the friendship going. Thanks. So this indicates to me that she's neutral about it. I think, in fact, let's see. Yeah, we can tell which ones, she's neutral about. Yeah, normal gifts. There we go. So no daffodil. I think maybe next time I'll try to give her a dandelion. So I don't know, everyone's preferences off by heart. I know some bits and pieces. And honestly, like, I'm happy to just explore them anew, and experiment, see what works and what doesn't. Let's see this quest. Help wanted. I could really go for a ripe potato. Are we even going to be able to make that quest? I don't think so, because just the previous day, or rather 2 days ago in the game, we planted the potatoes, and I think it said that potatoes take like 6 days to grow. I guess we can go into Pier and look at potato seeds to figure out. Yeah, 6 days. So I'm sorry, Pam, but we're not going to be able to make it. Oh, you know what? I just remembered. So in the previous video, I noticed that, while I was trying to go around and talk to as many people as possible, I didn't notice that I skipped Pierre because, I talked to him through the counter, but this actually doesn't count for the sake of introductions. So see, like 22 out of 28. Hey, it's Miss Sill, the new farmer. I'm Pierre, owner of the local general store. As you can see, like, even his dialogue like indicates that this is the first time we're talking to him, right? If you're looking for seeds, my shop is the place to go. I'll also buy produce from you for a good price. I think this is what I'm going to do today, just to get a little bit of money going for the geodes, and probably just sell whatever comes out of the geodes, because we are very tight for money at the moment, but we're not particularly, in any rush to fill the museum. I can't think of a single gift from the museum actually that would be very beneficial to get early. So I think I'm going to prioritize geode rewards for money. I think I have enough leeks at the chest at home, so let's sell these two. Actually, no, let's be smart about this. Let's first go see what we have the most of and don't need. Sell those, and then crack the geodes. Also want to make a trash lap, as per usual. Was there any train of thought that I started but haven't completed? You're gonna hear me you're gonna hear me asking myself this question quite a lot, not only in this playthrough but in general. So I want to save one of each. I don't have any particular reason to save like a high quality horseradish, so I'm gonna sell that. Sell this one as well. Sell 2 of these, and then get the rest of the geodes to crack them. Okay. Was there any train of thought that I haven't completed? If there was, then I forgot it. By the way, I'm also curious because, not every moment I'm going to have something to talk about. There might be some, parts. Oh, nice algae. There might be parts, during playthroughs like this where I don't have much to say, and so I don't say anything at all, and then we just, enjoy each other's company in silence. And I'd be curious to hear from you if you think that's awkward, or if you think you can actually enjoy it while just, watching the game. So I want to open these geodes, but now I don't have inventory space. I guess I should have done the trash lab after opening the geodes. Oh, and I also wanted to go to Pier to sell stuff. Man, I'm really disorganized today. My thoughts are very disorganized. I was about to say I hope you can forgive that, but like, fuck that. It's my series, you're just a guest here. I hope maybe it's not too frustrating to you, to say the least. So let's sell all of these. And since I'm going to sell the rewards from the geodes, I can just go there now and just open them one by one and sell if I'm low on space. No need to go back home. Let's say hi to Lewis. Saloon can get pretty lively at night. Sometimes we even put a coin in the jukebox. Chuckle. I like to visit once a week. You know what? So I said in one of my comments on the previous video that I would try to make voice acting, you know, my own vocalizing of, you know, text lines a bit more lively or a bit more, I guess, fitting to character. So the following attempt to, you know, give Lewis a funny voice or a fitting voice, I don't know what it's going to come out like. You're going to be as surprised as I am when I try to imitate Lewis in just a few seconds from now. If it's really weird, then I apologize in advance, but let's give this a try. So, I like to visit the... No, that's not the right... That's not the right voice I want to go for. How about... I like to visit once a week. Wait. Yeah, I like to visit once a week or so to catch up on things. Anyway. Now, there's no guarantee that by the next time I talk to Lewis, I'm going to remember that specific voice I made. So characters might end up having like wildly different voices across the playthrough. Also, haven't talked to Elliot before, so let's do that. You know, with Elliot, I actually have a pretty clear idea in my head of what I wanted his voice to be like, which is very heavily inspired by Astarion from Baldur's Gate 3, which is, you know, funny because there's also a mod for this game which replaces Elliot with Astarion, so I'm gonna go with that. Ah, the new farmer we've all been expecting, and whose arrival has sparked many a conversation. I'm Elliot. I live in the little cabin by the beach. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm not a fan of Elliot, personally. Let's see if there's anything interesting at the beach. You know, at the risk of forgetting to go to the blacksmith in time. So yeah, no digging spots. I'm gonna go immediately to the blacksmith. So, for example, you know, little moments of silence like that just happened. I'd be curious to get your, you know, insight on how you feel about it. Do you think it's weird? Do you think it's nice and cozy? Anything else? I'd be curious to know. Process geodes. So each one costs 25. That means we can barely, you know, get 9 done. But the thing is, we're gonna sell most of the stuff that we get here unless it's directly useful. So stone, obviously not gonna sell. Stone, obviously not gonna sell. And this is stone again. Okay. What is that? Celestine? Celestine? I don't know. This is alamite. Oh, I don't have enough room yet. So let's sell these. Or at least at the very least, see how much they sell for. And if they sell for very little, then might as well like donate them right away. 125 and 150, definitely selling these. Versus geodes. So this is a really good return on investment. Copper ore, okay. What's this? Jagoite. Kind of looks like, you know, when babies have those like, you know, early poops in the diapers where it's not very solid. I'm sorry. Some of you might be eating while watching this. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say stuff like that. Yeah, definitely selling for 115. And let's do the rest. Jamborite. You know, I have to wonder if all of these names are names of actual, you know, gems or minerals in real life, or if Concerned Ape just came up with some of these, you know, on his own. Slate. I like that. And limestone. So I think there's a correlation between, you know, the jingle that plays when you crack the geode and see what comes out of it, and how much money the reward sells for. So the last two, for example, I'm going to guess that they sell for relatively low because they made like a very, you know, unsatisfying sound when I got them. So 15 and 18. Now, here's a conundrum. I mean, 18 definitely selling. 58. I don't know why I said 18. 58. Can you tell that I'm like out of my element today? But it's fine. We're pushing through, and who knows? To some, this might even be more entertaining. But do I sell this for 15 or just donate to the museum? At the beginning of the game, every single gold piece counts, especially leading up to the 2000 for the bag. And on the other side, one more contribution to the museum, especially when there's nothing urgent to go for, I think I'm just gonna sell it. Yeah. Now I need to figure out if I have excess of stone and wood, who can I sell it to? Oh, Robin. Okay. So I am curious to also visit Robin now and see how much each piece of wood sells for. Because, as mentioned in the previous episode, we're not going to be doing we're not going to mine delve, we're not going to fish. And so it seems like a decent chunk of our income is going to be from chopping, trees as well. Say hi to Evelyn. And you know what? I was just about to start reading her dialogue without making any special voice for it, but I promised. So what I can't promise is that it's going to come out okay. And I apologize for it in advance if, I apologize in advance for like any, abomination that might come out of my mouth when I try to imitate characters. So let's see.
I'll be baking cookies today. I like to make flower shapes in the spring. Maybe I'll tell you my recipe one of these days.
I'm really sorry. That was horrible. Here's Jody. I don't think I'm going to make any unique, sound for Jody. And yeah. So they seem to all have the same line when it comes to like, discouraging you from rummaging. Let's see what she says. So you're a farmer, huh? Interesting. I've never met a farmer before. Okay. Maybe someday you can teach me how to grow vegetables. I mean, sure. And again, for Jody, like I can't think of like any unique voice to make. Oh, there's Sam. Let's let him go out. Sam. So I do have a voice for Sam actually. It might be a little bit reductive or like stereotypical, but I don't care. I'm gonna go with it anyway because I like it. The clouds look great this time of year, don't they? Like scoop of vanilla ice cream. Like scoops of vanilla ice cream floating on blue raspberry sauce. Or maybe I'm just hungry. I don't know, something like that. Always felt funny in my head. Oh, and now Vincent wants to come out. Man, I feel like a bouncer, like for this family. Like I'm trying to get in, and they all want to go out. Vincent, do I make a voice for Vincent? Sure, whatever. This is YouTube. Like, I signed up for this. Let's do it. Okay. I'm hungry. Where's Mom? No, I don't know why. So it came out more of a Cartman voice from like from South Park than I intended. I'm gonna try to change that. Like next time I encounter Vincent and read a line, I'm gonna try to make it a bit more serious and less Cartman like. Leah. There's actually a lot of wild food in this area if you know where to look. I've been having fresh salads almost every day. Vegan at heart. Let's see if there's any forage. And I want to, put these in the chest. Nothing here. Oh yeah, so games that I'm considering playing on the channel, and of course your input about that is always welcome. So as mentioned, Hades, Guild Wars 2 probably. What else? Baldur's Gate 3. I think there's going to be a lot of fun value to derive from that. Then a big one, which also follows the same logic as Hades, which is I want people to be able to like experience it without necessarily having to play it, is Undertale. Again, I've played it before. And I forgot to make that point also about Hades. So both regarding Hades and regarding Undertale. I finished both games. I know the story, the stories very well. So they're not going to be new to me, but they might be new to you. And some people, there's a geode there. Some people might not, be much into, like some people might not particularly be interested in playing video games themselves rather than enjoy, others watch them. And I think it would be a shame to pass up on games like that they could experience, with me, just because I've already played them. So what I could do is, play, and be, I guess, let the game take center stage, as it were, as opposed to what I'm doing here, which is like talking most of the time. So for Undertale and Hades, I'm gonna be, I think, more quiet compared to this for the most part. And of course, you could let me know if you'd like it to be different. Mixed seeds, let's plant them. There was one here somewhere. Yeah, they're there. Gonna plant them instead of the spot where the crow ate. So there we go. What else do I want to do this day? We can smelt a bar now. Could definitely do that. And also, I should pay more attention to introductions. Let's see who I've not talked to yet. Probably Harvey, one of them. Yeah, Abigail, Harvey, Linus, and Sebastian. And this, I guess, doesn't count towards that quest. So Sebastian, might be able to catch him out of his room, near the evening, which is now. If we could check in the saloon, sometimes he hangouts there, but I don't remember on what days. Linus is most of the time in the same old spot, so we can pass through there. Harvey sometimes in the saloon. And Abigail, I have no clue about Abigail. I can't remember what her routine is like. But just real quick, let's, smelt our first bar. We might get money out of that in terms of rewards. Yeah, and let's go see if we can meet as many of them as possible. Another thing I wanted to say, by the way, I was about to start saying it earlier, but forgot, is that because we're not going to be mining, not going to be fishing, and we're going to have a lot of time on our hands, we're going to have, and maybe I did make this point already? I think I'm going senile. Anyway, because we're going to have a lot of free time on our hands in this game, I'm going to want to try to make as many, oh yeah, it's locked. I want to try to come up with as many goals, as many like personal goals as possible, especially since we're also not going to complete a lot of the achievements, and certainly not gonna go very high in terms of perfection score. Oh, there's Sebastian, that's great. Do I give him a specific voice? Yeah, I'm gonna give him Shadow the Hedgehog voice. Oh, you just moved in, right? Cool. Out of all the places you could live, you choose Pelican Town? I think that's pretty fitting. Maru. I can't remember if I gave her a gift yesterday or today, but I guess we'll do it another time since the flower is not on me anyway. Let's go say hello to Linus. There's a leak on the way too. Yeah, so we're gonna come. Oh wait, let's talk to Linus first, and then I'll complete the point that I was trying to make. Linus. Do I want to give him a voice? Yeah. A stranger? Hello. Don't mind me. I just live out here alone. Alright. I mean, I've always kind of liked Linus. There's a cutscene coming up sometime in the first few days of the game where, you actually get to make a pretty significant choice in your connection with him. And also, influencing the opinions of other people in town, I guess? I don't know. Say hi to Robin. You're always welcome to visit us, even if you aren't shopping, It can get pretty lonely up here in the mountains. All right? Not much to say about that. So yeah, now I'm going to actually complete the point. Sorry. So gonna want to come up with, personal goals to do. Like, even though, for example, I know that we're not going to be able to cook. I mean, maybe we are going to be able to cook all dishes. But I'm going to want to try to get a kitchen going, the kitchen upgrade as soon as possible, because I want to cook as many dishes as possible as we get the recipes for them. I kind of want to focus on that. Another thing I might want to focus on is I guess shipping as many things as possible that are not animal products, of course. We'll see. I think over time, as we play the game, it'll kind of we'll kind of come up, you know, with unique goals to set up. You don't see Harvey here. Should I go talk to every single one personally? I don't know. See what Gus has. I'm gonna want to buy all of these recipes eventually, I think. So yeah, as you can see, for example, with the vegan recipes mod, a maki roll, instead of containing fish, I think it's cave curd instead, right? The seaweed has always been there, I'm pretty sure. And with pizza, it's just like, you know, tomato, hot pepper, stuff like that. So really neat mod. I highly and strongly recommend you try it out for yourself. As mentioned, the other two mods that I currently have installed are the vegan community center bundles, which I'm pretty sure we'll get to see, or we're going to get to see them pretty soon in action. Maybe not right away, because the first bundles are usually pretty vegan anyway. Was there anything that I wanted to do this day that I'm missing? Let's go to the farm and see what our inventory is like. What was I talking about? Yeah, the vegan, the vegan community center bundles. So that's a really neat mod as well, especially if you don't want to take the JoJo route to, you know, to community upgrades. And man, I really like the way this looks at night. Do I want to add torches anywhere else? Probably not for now. And then let's see. So yeah, I shouldn't make more seeds like that. Oh, you know, I wanted to check how much, you know, I can sell wood and stone for. But I guess this early in the game, it's probably not a good idea. Although if I do need the money, we'll see. We'll see about that. Is there anything I want to craft pretty soon? Eventually, you know, I want to decorate the farm, so I'm going to want to use a lot of stone for cobblestone path. I like to put, you know, fences and gates, especially on the, you know, exits of the farm. I like to kind of have this, you know, I guess role play of, you know, I can close the farm if I want. So it's like not open access to anyone who just wants to come in, right? Because think about it, like, you know, as the game progresses, I'm going to have, you know, things, right, that are mine, like property, which I guess is not very anarchist of me to say, but within the narrative of the game, I'm gonna want to have, you know, to like set up property on the farm, and I think it's a good idea to. I think it's fun to like pretend that the gates actually do something in that regard, like preventing people from just going in and taking whatever they want. So I'm looking at the time of the video. It's currently like 48 minutes or so, and you know, because this day is about to end, I'm wondering if I should end it right here. I think though, because I wanted to, you know, create a new episode and upload it earlier, and I didn't get to, I think I'm just going to compensate for that with playing another day this episode. See where it gets us. All right, copper bar. It's taking the quest. No reward for it. That's unfortunate. So we still need to meet only Harvey and what was the last one? Abigail. I think I'll make that my priority for the next day and see if we can complete that. And I think once you complete this, you also get a new quest to send someone a gift, and you do get money rewards from that. So I'm going to want to shoot for that. For now, let's put this copper bar aside. All in all, pretty good day, you know, sold a lot of minerals, made a decent amount of money. And I wonder if I should spend any more of this money on seeds. Because after all, okay, no rain tomorrow, partially cloudy. Actually, wait, this is a new line from the weather forecast, so I'm gonna try to give them, you know, a unique voice as well. Tomorrow is gonna be partially cloudy with a light breeze. Expect lots of pollen. I don't know, something like that. Kind of came out like came out a little bit you know, Jerry Seinfeld, but oh well. So bad luck today. That's fine. We've already cracked all the geodes. Oh, hello. Thank you, puppy. Do I want to give Marnie a voice? Can't think of any voice that would be unique, you know, like stereotypically fitting here. You see this dog here? Sure do. A good boy. If you found it sitting outside the entrance, oh sorry, I found it sitting outside the entrance to your farm. I think it's a stray, poor thing, but it has a collar, or they have a collar. You know, it's not surprising that Marnie is using like, you know, objectifying language like this on animals. Not surprising considering, you know, she farms and breeds them. But yeah, this poor little fella has a collar, so like, how can they be a stray? Hey, it seems like, sorry. Okay. Brain fart. Hey, it seems to like this place. Hey, don't you think this farm could use a good dog? Will you adopt this dog? So this is an interesting choice. Obviously, you know, when you adopt a dog, you basically sign off on, you know, being responsible for their needs. I guess in this game, since you don't really have to do much to take care of them, I'm gonna do so, but I think in the future, when I live on my own, I'll definitely think twice before, you know, I adopt. Because I don't know that I feel like taking on responsibilities like this. You know, taking care of a dog in real life requires a lot of effort and time, giving them attention, making sure they're not lonely, taking them out for walks, to the park, to meet other dogs, of course. And I feel like that's not something I personally want to commit to. But for the sake of this game, and because, you know, it's cute, I'm just gonna say yes. And of course, the immediate question is, what do we name him? So, actually, this is a pretty interesting, you know, I don't know if anytime, you know, you start a playthrough and, you know, adopt a dog or a cat, the name is completely randomized, or whether Snooch is one of the default options that lots of people get to see at first. But since this is a begin playthrough, and Snooch sounds very much like Nooch, or as in like nutritional yeast, I think it's a pretty good idea. So thank you, game, for the inspiration. Let's call this dog Nooch. Well, Nooch, you be a good pooch now, okay? Wait, is that rhyme deliberate? Or is it just a coincidence? So the game offers the name Snooch. I think it's deliberate, right? There's no way it was just luck that she was like, Snooch, be a good pooch, right? Or maybe the dog species is a pooch, and I'm just not very knowledgeable in like dog species or breeds, I guess. I don't know. Either way, it was a pretty fun coincidence. Let's see what we get in the mail. To our valued Jojo Mart customers, our team members have removed the landslide caused by our drilling operation near the mountain lake. I'd like to remind you that our drilling operation is entirely legal. I mean, if you have to mention that. So, okay, I just realized I was about to do so without noticing it, but then I caught myself doing it. I think, I can't remember if it's Tofu Dog or somebody else who made this joke where like, if you have to mention that it's entirely legal, then that's a bit of a self-report, right? If I'm, you know, stealing this joke from somebody without, you know, realizing it, I'm so sorry, but it's the first thing that came to my mind when I read that. All right, so drilling operation is entirely legal. Pursuant to initiative, I don't know what this stands for. L61091 JoJo Amendment. Responsible stewardship of the local environment is our top priority. We apologize for any inconvenience this accident may have caused. As always, we value your continued support and patronage. Morris, the Joja Customer Satisfaction Representative. So, of course, the boulder removal leads to the mines, as well as the Adventurers Guild and the quarry. But the quarry also requires the bridge repair, or the minecart repair, which, again, we're very far away from. So right now, the boulder removal really doesn't change much, except for maybe, you know, a little bit more forage, you know, a few more digging spots every now and then. I will go over there today to see if there's any forage to take, though. Let's start by watering things. And I also want to chop down both of these trees because, you know, how obstructive they are. So let's do that first. I don't think I'm going to run out of energy. Wait, how is... Oh, it's because in the first episode I already, you know, hacked at the tree quite a few times. So interesting that it translates to adult trees once they grow. I thought it would just reset. It's pretty cool. And then chop this one as well. And so now that I can get seeds actually from the first forge level up, I think it is. I want to make sure I get a balanced amount of each type of seed, or rather like the tree seeds, because as part of the farm, I'm going to want to like create a row of at least one of each type of tree, or maybe multiple, in order to collect sap from them, or not sap, but rather their unique secretions. So like maple, resin, stuff like that. As well as just for the sake of chopping trees, I want to make like an area of the farm where like there's a naturally there's a very manicured order of trees, right next to each other. Like I want to have a column of oak, a column of birch, I think it is, and the other type. But we'll get there. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be low on energy just by chopping these two trees. Yeah, I'm still gonna have a lot of. What are the crops? And again, remember before, I almost forgot that one of the highest priorities this day should be to find Abigail and Harvey. So, what are the crops? And we'll do that real quick. By the way, another thing I would really like to get your input on. Actually, two things, now that I think about it. So the first one is, there might be some, situations like this where, I'm doing some menial work in the game, like watering crops. And, one time when I do it, like sometimes when I do it, I might not have anything interesting to say. In a case like that, would you want me to just, leave the footage unedited and have that like, small moment of, quiet while I do the menial work? Or would you like me to edit around it a little bit? Like maybe speed it up or just completely cut it out until the next thing I have to say or the next unique thing that happens in the game. I'm completely open to feedback. And at the end of the day, I had a burp. Sorry. I ate right before, starting to record this. Probably not a good idea. But what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So I want to make this content enjoyable. And, if there's a majority consensus on like, what the how I should edit the footage to make things as most entertaining for as many people as possible, then I'll definitely go for it. Anything in the quarry area? Nothing at all? Just one stone. So I don't know if it's optimal to leave this completely empty each day or not, or if there's no difference, because I don't know if like once a spot is occupied by a rock or a geode or something like that, if that decreases by any amount the odds of more stuff spawning the day after because that spot is taken. If anyone knows, let me know. But yeah, otherwise I don't think it's too big of a deal. So as well as searching for Abigail and Harvey, let's also try to give this to Maru. No, wait, Maru actually doesn't like daffodils. So I shouldn't give her that. I should give her something else. I should save this for someone who does like them. So maybe I'll try to give it to Sam or Leah or I don't know. We'll see. Other than that, I can't think of anything else I want to take with me. Yeah, let's go. So that was the first thing. Whether, I should be a bit more, I guess, active with the editing in those episodes or just keep them as they are because of, the off time that some people might find relaxing. Oh, there we go. The community center scene. So this is going to, this is the real-time challenge. This is like, seeing if I remember what voice I gave Lewis earlier, and whether the new one is going to be worse, just as bad, or just a little bit better. What voice do I want to give him? Let's make it this way. Oh, hi there. Am I gonna make him British? Really? I don't know about that. Let's see. What an eyesore. This is the Pelican Town Community Center, or what's left of it anyway. I think this voice is good. Or decent, at least. It used to be the pride and joy of the town, always bustling with activity. Now, just look at it. It's shameful. These days, the young folk would rather sit in front of the TV than engage with the community. But listen to me, I sound like an old fool. Ironic. Judge Corporation has been hounding me to sell them the land so they can turn it into a warehouse. Pelican Town could use the money, but there's something stopping me from selling it. I guess old-timers like me get attached to relics of the past. Oh well. If anyone else buys a Jojaco membership, I'm just gonna go ahead and sell it. Here, let's go inside. You know, maybe I'm high on my own farts, but this sounds like a nice voice to me. At least decent. What's this? I guess Vincent and Jazz must have been playing in here. This place is even more dilapidated than I remember. What? Oh no, the mushrooms are kicking in. What's the matter? Are you ill? You saw something? I wouldn't be surprised if this place was full of rats. The mushrooms are definitely kicking in. You're worrying me, Syl. As if rummaging through the trash in front of his face wasn't enough. Okay. Look, I think I'm going to go head home. I need some lunch. You know what? I'm not satisfied with his voice after all, in the end. But... Okay, do I want to try a different one for the end of this cutscene? No, I'm just going to stick with it. Hey, I'll keep this place unlocked from now on. Maybe you can help catch that rat if you have some extra time. Oh, that's that. Strange. I'll have to come back and explore this building further. Will do. So I think in order to trigger the wizard cutscene, I shall actually go back in here and then interact with this bundle. First, the new farmer rummages through the trash. Then they hallucinate small apple-like creatures in the abandoned community center. Not a good omen. Not a good sign. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Abigail and Harvey. Let's see this. Fishing, I don't care. Let's see if we can find Harvey here. Yes, we can. Can we open this? Yes, we can. Hello, Harvey. Nice to meet you. Actually, on another playthrough of mine, I also, I think, married Harvey. And he's also pretty cool as well. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Harvey, the local doctor. I perform regular checkups and medical procedures for all the residents of Pelican Town. It's rewarding work. I hope you'll find your own work equally rewarding in time. Sure. Good talk. Where would I find Abigail? Maybe in the store. There she is. That was, a lot easier than I expected. Let her come to us. Oh, I guess she's not going to. Oh, that's right. I heard someone new was moving to that old farm. It's kind of a shame, really. I always enjoyed exploring those overgrown fields by myself. Well, not a very warm welcome, I would say. Okay, back to the question, do I want to spend more of this money on seeds? I think the answer is probably no, because more seeds means more watering on days when it's not raining, and I'm already kind of low on energy. Like, So minus those 2 trees that I chopped at the beginning of the game, I usually end the day with like half energy, or start the day with half energy after watering, that is. But the parsnips should be ripe for harvest by tomorrow. And 15 of those slots that I waste energy on to water are going to be, complete, or rather, they're going to be freed up. So maybe this is actually a good opportunity to buy stuff, to buy more seeds. But which? If I remember correctly, out of all of these, I think cauliflower is the highest return on investment. But let's not make the same mistake, we made last time with the geodes. Let's buy just a few. Let's buy 3. All right. What do I want to do now? How to win friends. Giving gifts is a great way to build friendships. Learn each person's individual tastes, and you'll be popular in no time. Give someone a gift. So it can be any gift, even if hateful. But I don't want to troll people. So let's grab that gold star flower and just give it to the first person we see. It'll be a fun surprise, kind of like a roulette. See what happens. What else do I want to do this day? Probably use some more energy to chop trees, or maybe clean up the farm floor, or ground, I should say. And there's another question. Should I eat the spring onions now to get as much of that done as possible? Because relatively soon, if I remember correctly, there's going to be this salmonberry season where a lot of bushes around the map are going to spawn, lots of fruits to eat. And they sell for very little, so it's not that profitable to sell them. What I usually do is I just, collect as many of them as I can, and then pretty much for the rest of the year, they end up lasting and, providing a lot of energy. So for the sake of getting as much money as possible early, I think it is a good idea, to spend some of this day, chopping trees, restoring energy with spring onion, and then getting some more trees. But before that, before we forget, let's do 1, 2, 3, cauliflower, and get the watering can. All right. I feel like there was another thing I wanted to bring up to get people's opinions on, but not coming to mind at the moment, unfortunately. I guess this is a good opportunity to mention that, if there are any cuts in the video, unexpected cuts or, unexplainable cuts. Wait, I said I would give, I would give the first person I see, I would give this flower, but Mayor Lewis, Evelyn, you know what? Evelyn is nice. Evelyn deserves it. Let's do it. Let's make her a happy woman today. So she says, oh my, it looks wonderful. Wait. Roleplay voice.
Oh my, it looks so wonderful. That's very kind of you. George spends the whole day in front of that dreaded television set. I wish he'd go outside more. Some fresh air would do him good. Thanks, Evelyn. And let's see what level of, how much... Okay, so it's just a light gift. So I think there are 5 tiers, right? There's hated gifts, disliked gifts, neutral gifts, light gifts, and loved gifts. So this is nice. Not enough to raise 1 heart for certain, but at least we did it. And yeah, we get 100 gold for that. Let's do it. What else do we have here? Getting started. Cultivate and harvest a parsnip. So that happens tomorrow, I think. Or rather, in our case, it's going to happen next episode. So you're not going to see those parsnips today. What do I want to do? Let's grab some wood and stone and see how much they sell for at Robin's place. And also, I guess, yeah, so, oh, wait, it's Friday. I want to go to the traveling merchant. So for those of you who may not know,
on Fridays and Sundays in this game, down at the forest area, right over here, about right over here. There's a traveling merchant on those 2 days, and they sell a random assortment of items. Some of them could be really useful to complete the community center early. Some of them can be completely useless, but either way, it's always worth checking in my opinion. Probably not going to buy anything now, as well as probably for quite a while in the game while I save up money for more important stuff. But I think it's still nice to look. And if anything, it's good to like make a habit out of checking them, because they have this like unique rare seed where it takes 28 days to grow during fall, and you'd have to like, start growing it at the first day of fall to harvest it at the last day of fall. Otherwise, it just withers. So again, it's a good practice to, visit them as often as possible. There's the rare seed. Man, I'm seeing a lot of exploitation here. Oh, by the way, okay, something I should say. I think I don't remember if I mentioned it in the kind of like episode 0 video, or like the video essay. But so products that are usually animal products in the game, once their recipes are replaced by by the mod, it's not just the recipe that is replaced, it's also the name, right? So from the game's perspective, from the code perspective, this is like regular cheese, right? Just dairy cheese. But because the mod alters the recipe, it also alters the name here, and so it's coconut cheese. They also mentioned on the page, by the way, we can go. They also mentioned on the mod page that if for some reason you do try to like milk cows and like and stuff like that, you will derive from them plant-based versions of the secretions that you would normally get from them, which is pretty funny. Okay, so what time does Robin close? I think it's 5 p.m., right? Yeah, so let's make a beeline towards that before they close. And then probably spend the rest of the day, either cleaning up or cutting some more trees. I think I should cut more trees first, because the earlier you plant new tree seeds, the earlier I don't know, sorry, brain fart. The earlier you can get wood to sell. I don't know why that took so much, computing power for my brain to come up with, but sometimes it is, sometimes it'd be like that. No, wait, okay, I caught her just in time. I don't know if I would be able to talk to her if she left the counter, but thankfully we don't have to think about that now. Shop. Oh, how do I? Okay, so I can make basic math. So each wood piece sells for like 2 gold, and then each stone, I guess they each sell for 2 each. Is it worth it? So you get like 14 pieces of wood from 1 tree. That's not too bad. But for now, I think I'd rather save those up. Let's also see what she sells. Recipes for crafting. Some nice furniture. Telephone actually has, a function. Workbench, I can't remember, maybe it's new. When crafting here, you'll have access to materials in any adjacent chests. Okay, good to know. So that's useful as well. Calendar is useful as well, so you don't have to, go to the general store exterior every time we want to check. But again, it's so expensive at this point in the game that I'm just not going to think about it for now. Same with, other pieces of furniture. But what I'm more curious about is, can I still, yes, okay. Upgrade house. 450 pieces of wood, so definitely don't want to sell any wood now, at least. But 10,000 is so far away. It's going to be a while. So let's say no for now. And are there any farm buildings I want to construct which have nothing to do with animals? Well, it would be nice, and it's actually not that expensive. Silo is not needed. Mill is way ahead in the game. Shed not needed at the moment, it's also expensive. Fish pond never. Cabin. Would I have any use for another cabin on the farm? Can't think of one. Bed bowl. stable. So I do want the stable because instead of a horse, it comes with bicycle because we installed one of the mods for that. But again, 5 iron bars, 100 hardwood, and 10,000 gold. That's a long ways away. Slime hutch, no thanks. Shipping bin, no thanks. Okay, nothing else. Let's go chop wood. And instead of going through the mountain pass, let's see if there's more forage we can find along the way here. Hello. Also, here's Maru. Let's say hi. Hey, sorry if I seem cranky. I'm a little sore from work yesterday. So, by the way, I don't think we've seen it so far, but I know personally that Maru works at Harvey's place, like the clinic. I had to sort patient records for 4 hours straight. All right, good talk. I think this is still the fishing one. There's also a flower there. Let's pick it up. Oh, and I want to have a trash lab. Might as well start from over there, since there's so many people over there. And good thing I checked, because more flowers, I should say. All right, give me something nice, trash. Oh, thankfully she didn't see that. Hello. It's a fine looking day. On days like this, I like to help Evelyn with the public gardens. She's strong for her age, but I think she appreciates all the help she can get. Good point. I mean, we were nice to her today. I think we did our part. We gave her a gold star flower. Which, you know, you don't come by that stuff easily. Oh, everyone's going to the saloon, it seems. I'm gonna wait till they... I mean, no, I shouldn't. I should just do it. Hey, stop that yak. Yeah, whatever. Man. Imagine if they could, like, kick you out of, you know, of the village. We're doing stuff like that so many times. I think you'll have brain fart, sorry. I think you'll love having a little friend on the farm with you. Sure. Actually, good reminder, haven't pet them today. Oh, that's lucky. So that gives us speed for a little bit. I'll save that. Good call. I haven't pet the dog today. Or I should say Nooch. But before we make it back to the farm, let's make another quick lap of foraging. Is there anything else I want to bring up? Okay, I just remembered. So we talked about, oh, also nice amount of spring onions. So we talked about the fact that, you know, I want to start a few other playthroughs, not necessarily all at once, of course. I think at the moment, I think it would be interesting to have at most 3 different, you know, playthroughs running at the same time. And so my question is, what should the schedule be like, in your opinion? Should I, you know, just rotate, you know, between the 3 games, or 2, if that's the case, in a manner of, like, you know, 1 hour video per day, rotating between the 3 games? Or, I don't know, should it be 1 week dedicated to 1 game and then rotating? Should it be, I don't know. I mean, there's lots of different options. I'm not very creative when it comes to that. So I would love to hear your ideas, how you would like content to be. So as I said, I think I'm pretty sure I'm gonna start, you know, Hades right after this. Not sure yet what I want the 3rd game to be. Maybe Guild Wars 2. I should say that when I say Guild Wars 2, what I mean to do is start a new character on my account and basically go through the story of the game. You know, all the way from the base game through all of the expansions and Living World seasons, I should say. I think that would be fun. Again, especially for people who, you know, haven't played Guild Wars 2, don't particularly plan to play themselves, but, you know, might enjoy the story, the music, lots of different stuff. There's a lot of elements of Guild Wars 2 that I think are really good. The story can be like very powerful and touching at times, I find, especially later in the later expansions and seasons. and I think it's also visually pretty cool. So I don't know. I'm interested to see how people might react to that. And of course, I mean, I don't think it needs saying that if everybody dislikes a series, right, can always end it early. Let's plant those seeds before I forget. And then 2 of these here. Another thing I want to do, so like other games that I'm considering, are games that are personal favorites of mine, like nostalgic childhood stuff. Let's pet the dog. Like personal stuff from childhood or nostalgic stuff, like for example Crash Bandicoot, Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic has a lot of games that I would be interested to like play on camera. But if you have more ideas for games that would be fun to play, let me know. I deliberately haven't mentioned Minecraft because not because I don't want to play it, I certainly do, especially on the channel. But before I start a playthrough for it, I would also like to first make the video, like a video essay about it, similar to the one that I made for Stardew Valley, where I analyze, what practices in the game are not vegan, how far can a vegan character get without any modifications, and then, what mods or, recipes or stuff like that we can install in the game to make it more vegan friendly. I'm probably forgetting some points that I wanted to raise, to conversation during this episode. If so, then I'll just do them in the next one. But yeah, as usual, all feedback is welcome. Love to hear your thoughts. I'm gonna go sleep for the night. Level 2 foraging, +1 X proficiency, new crafting recipe, charcoal kiln. So we'll explore that when it becomes relevant. But yeah, thank you for watching. I know this episode ended up being longer than the first one. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe you would even like longer episodes. If that's what you're thinking, leave that in the comment as well. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been enjoyable, fruitful for anyone who might be watching. As you can see, I'm not very good at coming up with words for intros, outros, stuff like that. I just stumble through and see what comes out of my mouth. But yeah, gonna end it now. Peace.